Hello. I am outside, and if I ever stop talking or, I don't know, look uncomfortable, it's because there are a lot of people walking past my house because there's a market close by. But I'm doing the whole releasey thingy, trying to like move through stuff. And I've been finding myself stuck in like a lot of like demanding and like active emotions, like longing, wanting, yearning, confusion. I don't know, all these just like flowery feelings that demand an action or a resolution, if that makes sense. Or at least answers, I think. I think that's the thing that I'm struggling with right now a lot, is that there are a lot of feelings in me that feel like the resolution is like an answer of some kind or a conclusion. I have a lot of questions, and like some stuff got brought up last night that has flared up, like again a lot more like unsteadiness and more confusion and feelings of questioning my self-worth. And oh my god, look at that. She wants to go. Nope. No, she wants to go to the backyard. I'm gonna let her. No, she's just going up the stairs. How interesting. Anyway, yeah, a lot of feelings that seem to be demanding action and answer and resolution in me, and I'm just not really able to give myself that right now. And so it's feeling exhausting to be stuck in this like emotional like loophole. Not loophole, like circuit almost. And I've been trying to find a way out of it, or just like to cope with it. And I finished reading All About Love, and I think I understand why it's taken me 4 months to read it, because I think I needed to read those last 2-3 chapters right now. And oh, people are coming. Oh no, they're over there. That's fine. I've realized that there is an answer, which is to sit in love and to attempt to like work my way towards forgiveness. And I realized that I've confused and conflated my ideas of like what forgiveness is and what love is. And I've conflated forgiveness with like approval, and love with wanting. And that light bulb just like clicked onto my head, and I was like, oh, that's what doesn't feel right, is that in order to forgive this person, my little trick for forgiveness, rather than attaching like a story or saying that I forgive particular actions or circumstances, is more just the forgiveness of humanity, which seems to be very helpful for myself, seems to be very helpful for me forgiving things outside of myself. And then within that is like the love that comes with forgiving humanity and somebody's humanity and faults, and a situation's humanity and faults, and my humanity and faults, and being in love. And I don't mean in love in like romantic, but like being able to sit in a perspective of love. It doesn't mean that I want things to be good, and it doesn't mean that I want things to be fixed, and it doesn't mean that I have to want the situation in order to just be able to extend love to it. Because what's making sense to me right now is that at the end of the day, love doesn't mean that you have something, and love doesn't mean that everything looks right. And love doesn't always mean that you feel I don't know. I can't finish that sentence, but I think I've just had a misconstrued idea of how best I can sit through this process without like undercutting myself, and without like in the sense of like, sometimes I feel like in healing of something I'm always really cautious to not invalidate my pain and like how a situation may be affecting me at this, because I think for a long time of my life I used to do that. Like I used to just like not really pay attention to how I was feeling, and have a big resistance to admitting that something could affect me, and like take control of my life in that way. Like a kind of powerlessness was associated with being hurt by something naturally. And so I often get stumped by how I can see myself through like these periods of like trying to process life in a way that in a way that like is recognizing what's going on around me, and recognizing how I'm feeling, and recognizing what's going on, and what I'm connecting to and what I'm choosing not to connect to and ignore, and in what like state I am in when I'm doing all of that. And a lot of that state lately has been kind of what I was saying before, and there's like more active, demanding emotions of like confusion or wanting or yearning or revenge, like vengeance. Yeah, and it's just been, I guess, it's been a bit of a revelation for me this morning, just to kind of acknowledge that forgiveness doesn't mean that I condone or accept everything that's gone on. And even though that seems like the most obvious thing that everyone talks about all the time, I need to remind myself of it always, because I think that's the thing that always blocks me from forgiveness, is like, well, if I forgive the situation, that means I accept everything. It's like, no. The quickest loophole in my mind can like find to quell that block is like, no, you're just forgiving that like people are people, and people will make mistakes, and you will be the person inevitably one day that makes a mistake similar to the one that you're experiencing right now. You know, like I hope I'm not, but there might be one day where I resemble the person that hurts me, and I hope I can find it within myself to forgive myself for that. So it's only fair that I can find it within myself to forgive the person, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all cyclical. And I guess that's a driving force behind my forgiveness, which overarchingly is just driven by people are going to be people, and that sometimes means they carry their own stuff that gets them to be a certain way that isn't great for everyone else around them, and even themselves. And then, yeah, I guess in conjunction with that, it's reminding myself that love doesn't mean that everything's perfect, and being able to sit and extend love to a situation and to myself doesn't mean that I have to look perfect. It doesn't mean that I have to, again, like agree with everything that's going on and like morally align with it. Like, love isn't this like moral thing. It's just being able to sit and go, okay, that's what's happening right now, and I can find the avenues that maybe need me to extend love to the other person. And it doesn't mean reaching out to them. It doesn't mean doing the work for them. It just means, in this situation, what are the parts that are clearly driven by wounding, and being able to understand that and extend understanding beyond like the ego of myself that goes, I'm hurt by this, and that's the most important thing in the situation, is that I'm hurt. Love allows me to acknowledge that and go, yeah, that is me hurt. I am hurt, and that's a part of this. But also another part of this is like, okay, what extends beyond that? What extends beyond your pain? What extends beyond you in this situation that might like delineate that this all just comes from like a malpractice of love, a lot of the time self-love, from like my part and also the part of the other person and just the situation in general. And yeah, that's what's been kind of going on in my head this morning. And it's helping me. I'm, again, by no means at like the light at the end of the tunnel of like feeling completely all good and fine. Like, as I said, there's some stuff that came up last night that, in all honesty, like I woke up this morning feeling really shit. And I kind of slipped into feelings of like, I deserve to hate this person. I deserve to feel this way. I deserve to... all of these things. And I gave birth to that with the help of one of my best friends. My best friend. Bless her. Bless her little Pisces wisdom. Her big Pisces wisdom. Helped me just like hold that part of myself and like give light to it. But also then kind of move through that and just not accept what's going on, as in take it into me and like be all like, okay, this is what's going on and I'm gonna live in this situation, I'm just gonna feel how I'm feeling, but like accept that this is what's going on and I don't necessarily have to play a main character part in all of it. Sometimes it's just stuff that goes around, and sometimes it's just stuff that's going on around me. And although sometimes it affects me, it doesn't really affect me, you know? Like sometimes I can choose for it to affect me, and sometimes I do choose for things to affect me. Sometimes I don't. In those moments I'm like so proud of myself for doing that. But yeah, sometimes there are just things that I can and maybe should let go with love and forgiveness. And those are some of the things that I'm realizing today that I can let go. And I can let go, and I can still allow myself to feel the way that I feel about things. And allowing that doesn't mean that I'm just like holding on to this story and this narrative and demanding all these answers of a situation that I don't have control over. But I can just sit in it and forgive what I can and love what I can and let go of what I can. And hopefully, for now, that's good enough. I also went to the market this morning and I bought a perfume. And I'm not saying that that's also fixing me today, but maybe it is, you know? It had it's vanilla, tobacco, something else. It's called smoked vanilla, and it's all just delicious things. It just smells so warm and delicious. I love it. Anyway, I hope your day is going well. It's beautiful here. And I'm gonna go find Rosie because she's just probably hip-hopping around doing God knows what. Go her. Bye. Sorry if I've just been looking at myself like this. Honestly, can't help it. When I'm in front of myself, when I'm talking, I feel like I'm talking to a person if I'm talking to myself. So it helps. Because staring like this, what am I talking to? Like, I know, like, technically it'd be like, I'm talking to you, but like, I'm not. I'm talking to a phone. And the closest thing around me that looks like a person is my reflection. So I hope that's not too disembodying. But then again, what, Annabelle? Not much. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go make myself some food. I've been lying in the sun for quite a long time now. Good decisions. I should have brought bread. I could probably actually go back to the markets and get some bread. I'll see if they're still on. And maybe get some food from markets. That could be good. Okay. Bye. I hope you have a good day. Whatever you're doing.